Alright, your boy Biscuits with another video, and your first JoJo video in I think 2 months. I don't think I did one last month. I may have, but I'm not sure. So this sorry for that weird intro. This is JoJo chapter 290. We're getting really close to 100, which I would imagine is going to be something big for that. And first off, I didn't list this on my list of things to say, but it's really odd how the length of these chapters are like falling off a cliff in the past couple or so. I really believe that my guy, I forgot his name. I forgot his name. Holy shit. The meme guy himself, Araki. I think he knows his exit. I think he knows what he wants to do with this based on the length, because I believe he's trying to pace himself. I think the pages will increase at some point. I just don't think there'll be any time soon. I think there'll be a couple more, short setup chapters, and then we'll start getting some meat paws. So just a couple about, 8 or 9 takeaways here. And my first one is, so we see here, and it's been set up, since last chapter, the police have really become I guess in two senses. One sense, they've impeded the progress of Josuke and Monozuku, or Mamazuku, however you pronounce it. And on the other side, they gave them a chance to really sit back and not get destroyed by the rain. Because without the cars, they'd be dead right now. But at the same time, they may be able to get further without the cars have been in there and all the police. But in any case, other than like Dio stopping time and like escaping from Josuke's wrath via the police car, or at least attempting to. I don't even think police have been like a real like tangible force in this series before. I know they also were a part of earlier here when they had the stand that like stole your money away from you. Josuke and fucking Jobin Higashikata. And then I guess you can count Sheriff Mountain Tim. I guess you could count him technically, but for the most part, they usually don't have any kind of impact. Unless you want to count the prison, but that's not really. That's like COs. It's not really police officers per se. Anyway, moving on. So we get to Josuke. It seems like this guy's pretty smart. Like I think we kind of knew this for a minute, but like here's one panel, and then pretty much, and pretty much 1, 2, 3, 4, basically 3 panels, he figures out how to escape this stand and get closer to the head doctor. And this is with police screaming at him and Mamazuku trying to read his mind. And Josuke, I mean, that intellect and more than anything his will reminded me a lot of Giorno. I know that there may be an actual like Giorno slash what's her name? Fucking I can't remember Jolene combo for a part 9 if that ever comes out. But I mean, Josuke here reminds me a lot of Giorno right now. And I'd say that he probably has some Giorno traits shown throughout. I don't think any one Joestar in this part, or Higashikata, more to be more accurate, is like 1-on-1 with any other Higashikata slash Joestar in another part. But he really showed a lot of Giorno traits here. So moving on from that, he's going into depth with his plan. I mean, from my interpretation is, and I saw a Reddit post on here that I'll go to in a second. So his will to pursue the guy didn't really disappear, I would say. However, since the stand knocked him unconscious, as it would seem, it did its job in a sense. It stopped the guy from being able to actively pursue the head doctor. And where is the comment at? Let's see. Here we go. Joseph getting himself close to the head doctor was a super badass moment, one of the best apart. It seems the stand doesn't actually try to stop you from pursuing the head doctor outright, a la bites the dust. It just injures you if you try. So that's a really interesting part. it to me it seems like this stand is meant to. I think the collision part is more of a thing that if you get closer and closer, it does more damage. Like I think back when they first almost touched the head doctor, like the collision that it was meant to be then would have killed them. I think it was like a car or something like that. But the collision, and since they're so far away, it's just trying to keep you away. I mean, not obviously, no one, not everyone can withstand the type of damage that Josuke seems to be able to withstand. But that's just my 2 cents. Smart plan by him. And a little bit more down the road here. This is a little thing that I kind of liked. I wouldn't say I'm a nerd, but I'm kind of a nerd a little bit. I really like them like referencing like essentially this is like his idea is basically like electricity that was like wireless, that can charge things. As it says here, nothing out there that can let you charge or something while it's in the pocket. And even to this day, I mean, they do have battery phone cases like Mophie and stuff like that. So, and they have portable um, chargers as well. So in a sense, TOORU was wrong. Which I mean, this is the first time I knew TOORU's name. I didn't even know it back in the other chapters. In a sense, he was wrong. In a sense, he was right. But I just like that they brought up Apple and Huawei and whoever SoftBank is. There's some type of bank out there in China, perhaps. I just like that they brought up those real life, companies. And I mean, in a sense, this guy was right. I'm glad we're getting like some kind of personality behind him and kind of like indicate that this dude just isn't like just a listen. I believe this guy might be Satoru or some kind of link to Satoru, but at least we're like not getting that he's just a hollow shell for the head doctor. If this ends up being like another Diavolo Doppio situation, which would make sense if you're to believe that part 5 and 6 won't be emulated into a manga. This is their take on that, which I'm not sure how I feel about that, but if that is the case, this is going to make him basically like a Doppio, a developed character in his own right, but still directly connected in terms of intrigue and relevancy to the main villain. And as I go through this to see more of his character and personality, it's really interesting to see just how much of a history he has with Yasuho. I know we originally thought that he was trying to get back at her because she was a means to an end as far as stopping Josuke and Mamazuku, but he legit has his own feelings for this girl. And it seems to be quite deep. It seems to be quite deep. This reminds me a lot of like one of those mid 2000s like romance comedies that like the beginning is like there's the guy that used to date this girl, got like he messed up everything, and now he's trying to get back for the remainder of the movie. Like something like an Adam Sandler, like a Ben Stiller. That's what this reminds me of. So it's good to see this guy's personality really just develop, and I feel to a sense that he knew what this call was, and I feel to some degree he also can read stands, because when we get here, I honestly want to do everything I can to help you. I'm really worried about you. He mentions Josuke. Um, it just seems so weird. Like, based on him stopping them every time they try to pursue Satoru, it seems like he has a direct, like, end to protecting the head doctor, or at least to protecting the interest of the head doctor. And he also seems to have an end to knowing that they are pursuing him, as he does outright say. But he seems to have an idea of what that phone means in pursuing him and what Josuke's kind of end goal with the guy is. So I believe they met. I believe Josuke and them met TOORU before Yasuho did, or at least before they met up with Yasuho, I believe. And yeah, I mean him, outright introduced, like he could just be a simp, as I wrote down. He could just be a simp and just wants to help her, but to show that how close he is, to show these pictures, I mean that's some super simpish type of things. And for a guy that like has this repertoire to like basically having no location or no identification to anybody, I just don't see why. I just don't see why he'd help her to this degree, you know. And then it says it's not a photo where I'm with him though. As a part-time worker, why would there be any photos where you're with this guy? It just doesn't add up, you know, when you start thinking about things. And it's such an ominous picture. Like, why would any part-time worker take this picture, you know? And if you always look at it, I mean, to me, this guy reminds me a lot of like Satoru. I feel like it's just because I wanted to be the same, but like I don't know, like you aged Satoru real quick and gave him like some Jobin features. I also believe there's a lot of Jobin features in this guy, but if you like gave him some Jobin like spikes, it's just reminiscent. But anyway, moving on from that, you know, I just wanted to say that Toru, you know, I think his end game is still to protect the head doctor. I think it matters more to him than Yasuho. I think he just wants to protect Yasuho while also eliminating Josuke and Mamazuku. So last couple of takeaways. It's just a setup, and will Yasuho make it? I really feel like Yasuho and Paisley Park can figure out a way around this rain. However, Paisley Park didn't know this rain was coming, or she would have said something. Maybe, I mean, she is preoccupied looking for Mamazuku, so I'll give her that. But I feel like she can do two different things at once, or at least she can see that, you know, to some degree ahead of what's about to happen to Yasuho. And this rain, I mean, this rain should give her a clean dead away that Yasuo is in trouble. This is obviously the autonomous stand. Um, I'm not sure if it can affect two people at once in two different locations. That's actually an interesting topic because I thought that based on my last video prediction, I was thinking that there's a chance that it might attack her and Josuke and Jobin at the same, or Josuke and Mamazuki at the same time, but it stopped attacking them, so it might be just a one location thing. And I think we'll also see Toru's play in this, depending on if he gets hurt or not, because if you're not pursuing this, shouldn't affect you, granted, but we don't know for sure if, you know, because I mean, there's a chance that it could affect him. But it's just a lot of conspiracy and just a lot of thoughts at this point in time. So that's just my head canon that Yasuho will find a way out of it, but the stand preoccupied, there's a chance it couldn't, and with Toru there, there's a chance that it could be strengthened. Maybe the stand is also his stand, I'm not sure, but something to keep in mind. Really, my last thing is that I think Mitsuba has her own play in this. She looked a little bit too helplessly innocent when it came to the surgery and all that back in the day. Now maybe the head doctor knows how much, you know, she loves the surgery and all that, and it's just like a harmless, you know, reintroduction into things. She just happens to be a casualty in their intrigue, but I think it's just too many coincidences that she seems to just have little knowledge about that makes me think that she has something to do with this. And I think she'll also, because I think Mitsuba's going to be a play anyway. She seems to know something about the nefarious deeds of her husband and maybe her son as well. So I think that she'll start to try to play on the tree. And she now knows about the trees, like, for definite, because of the whole hospital incident. So I think that she'll, well, at least the fruits, maybe not the trees, but at least the fruits. So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. And if she really does with the head doctor, I'm sure the head doctor will ask her to get that tree somehow, bring it back to him. So this could, I think she's going to be the tie-in between the hospital, you know, Josuke / the doctor, Jobin, Yasuho. I think it'll be, because I think she's at the Higashikata household right now. So I think Yasuho, this is my prediction, I think Yasuho will somehow escape this, and Toru get to the Higashikata household, press Mitsuba into leaking something about this, and then the tree, I think that Yasuho by some means will find out about the tree, and she'll have to confront Tsurugi and Jobin. I was calling who's Joshu. I called earlier. I talked about the the part stand. That's I should have said Josuke and Joshi. That's my bad. But Jobin and Tsurugi, I think they'll get pressed by Yasuho because I don't think Yasuo is that smart. She's quite reckless, so she'll probably make a play at that. And I seem to remember her earlier saying that those two are more important than a doctor. So that's also something to keep in mind. I think she'll make that move, and I think Mamazuku may make his way back to the household, although I'm not sure. I think he'd be more than likely wanting to go back to the hospital, even though he knows it won't be very possible. But yeah, that's where we're at right now. Head Doctor Dagashi got home a few chapters ago. As we can see right here, let's kind of look back because the head doctor, I think around this time it was further ahead in the whole thing. I believe that this was ahead in time. Masuba for the story's coming climax. Joe Tsurugi, yes, Speed King versus head doctor. TOORU agent the head doctor, yeah. Yasuho, Killer in the Rain, yep. Knows about the head doctor stand. 40 hours of the new Rokakakai. 20 chapters. I don't see that. I feel like this should climax within 10 chapters of the final like countdown, like when it hits the clock hits 0. I think that should be around 10 chapters remaining. However, he has done a good job of stretching out this last couple of days leading up to it, so who knows? This could be 20 chapters. Kato, Justify Role, involved the rock humans, Kira. This guy's getting ahead of himself. I feel like that Kato definitely I think Kato will have something to do with the death of Norisuke that does happen, or at least getting rid of Norisuke. I think they'll have something to do with that. As far as the rest of the family, I don't believe that Daya, Higashikato, or Hato will have too much of a play. Hopefully Joshu is dead. Hopefully. So yeah, 32 pages, another short one. 31, yeah, real person. So yeah, really not too much. I believe the head doctor's TOORU stand. That's a very weird take, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know. That's interesting. Um, yeah, that's about it. That's about it. I mean, really, I hope y'all enjoy this little takeaway. I think we're getting deeper into it. There's been a lot of good manga out here recently, but I think this JoJolion conclusion could be one of the better ones. I'm not putting the same vein as Attack on Titan, chapter 131, but it's it's pretty good. So hope y'all enjoy it, and peace.